watching the film is part of the process of growing. You kind of go, oh wow, why did you do that in that scene? Why did you do that in that scene? Okay, on the next one, do this, do that, do this, and getting it. So by the time I got Get Out, I think for me it was more like I wanted to be a lead role in a film. That was more like, oh, well, cool. It being a success was, it didn't matter to me.
So I read an interesting story about your mom.
About my mom.
About your mom in particular, that she had some words for your co-star in Queen and Slim, Jodie Turner-Smith, about your love scene. What did your mom say to your co-host?
What did my mom say to Jodie?
Yes, what did you say to Jodie?
I don't know. I mean, Jodie wanted to tell me. I said, I don't know. I don't know. Because me and my mom haven't talked about the sex scene. We don't talk.
Is that on? That's on purpose, I assume.
She kind of, yeah. I ain't got time for that. Like, why? No, I'm good. I was like, she watched the film. She's like, yes. I'm like, okay, we moving. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I know that she was like, she said something about kind of like in the arena of like it was really racy or X-rated or something like that. And I was like, Jodie, stop there. I don't need to hear about my mom's critiques or opinions on views of anything that I'm doing with my body in that department. Thank you so much.
Well, I mean, I know you can't keep your mother in mind as you're deciding what roles to take or whatever, but are there characters that you have played that you wonder, like, hey, I wonder what my mom will think of this?
Nah, I kind of, maybe Widows was kind of like, ooh, this is going to be. But then I just kind of like, it's make believe. Do you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, oh, it's like we're acting. But she has views. I think she doesn't like me dying. She doesn't like seeing me die. She doesn't like seeing me die. So I'm aware that, but then I keep on dying. But whatever. We'll deal with that soon. But she doesn't enjoy me dying.
Now, has she, I guess along those same lines, has she seen Judas and the Black Messiah? Has she seen it yet?
She hasn't seen it yet. No, because of the pandemic and all this stuff, she hasn't been able to see it yet. But yeah, no, I'm gonna get her to see it very soon.
Well, I only say that because of the end.
I know. Yeah, I haven't told her that bit. I haven't told her. I try not to. I got to do what I got to do, but it's gonna be a lot for her.
Now, as you're deciding about these different roles that you're playing, you said earlier in the podcast that you're trying not to do the same things over and over, but because you've been so good at various things, is that reflecting in what you're being offered or what's coming before you? Or are people still trying to pigeonhole you and put you in the same thing over and over again?
Yeah, there's pigeonholes, but in like, what I'm very blessed is like it's pigeonholed as a reflection of what they've seen, as opposed to like a general pigeonhole. So it's like they go, oh, we saw this, but depending on their taste. So there's people that still send me comedy stuff because they saw me on loads of comedy TV shows in London. So they send me comedy stuff, but they won't send me anything else. But that's a reflection of their taste and the perception of me, not necessarily what I'm doing. And there's some people that send me a certain kind of horrors because of their fan of Get Out and this, and they want this and this is that and the other. But it's not like I get like a eclectic pigeonhole, which is a blessing.
Yeah, because I'm sure you'd rather at least it be based off some evidence that you have played this role.
But what is, I never used to get bad guys. That's why I like Steve when because I remember I sat down with him and about something else, and then he was like, "Oh, there's a part in Widows," and that was from him sitting down with me, and so then, but that never happened before. I would always be like the good guy, and then so then now I get more bad guys. You know what I'm saying? So it's just what they've seen. So
I was gonna say, I actually think you make a great bad guy. You've already played one, but one where that was solely just you the entire film, like as a centerpiece, as just a bad guy. You were pretty terrifying in that. How did that? You said you had never done that before. Was it in a way awkward or uncomfortable because you had never played that role before?
It was kind of like it was always like a really exciting moment because you're like, oh, can I do this? You know what I'm saying? It's like you're like asking yourself, you're stretching yourself in yourself. And then you just have an idea of, but I just don't think bad guys think they're bad guys. It's just their experience seems like they're bad guys, but they did what they had to do. So, and I understood those guys when growing up, and I was just like, oh, they would help my mum with shopping and they'll do something crazy. But like, and it's just like what was amazing doing it is having a perspective on bad guys, what people perceive as bad guys. It's just them doing what they want to do. They have to do that. And what's scary is that you're seeing a window into their actual experiences. Because if they're that cool in that space, you're like, what has he been through? What has he seen? What has he done? And that's the scary. That's like, it's finding I think like great, like storytelling that sometimes like storytelling that doesn't resonate is 4, and storytelling that does resonate is 2 + 2. So when you do that and you just do it very normally, you're basically putting a 2, and their experiences, the audience experiences, and the projection of what that person experiences is another 2. Then you get, oh, this person's a bad guy, but that person's not feeling like he's a bad guy. He's just doing what he's doing.
I think you were in the business a decade before the role in Get Out came along. What was that 10-year process kind of like for you? Because when I talk to, especially a lot of actors and even entertainers, they always talk about the process and the getting there. And in many ways, that's the most fun part of their journey. They don't miss being broke, don't get me wrong, but they do appreciate that process of finally getting to the place that they thought, or the place they were working to get. So for you, what was that process into quote unquote making it like?
It was amazing. I was having so much fun. Like I loved my job. I was just going, having fun, meeting interesting people, getting paid. Like I was like, this is fun. Like I was just going to all these places that I never thought I would go to, and have these experiences, and then explore these worlds and explore my craft and hone something that you're doing continuously. I feel like for me, watching a film is part of the process of growing. You kind of go, oh, wow, why did you do that in that scene? Why did you do that in that scene? Okay, on the next one, do this, do that, do this, and getting it. So by the time I got Get Out, I think for me, it was more like I wanted to be a lead role in a film. That was more like, oh, well, cool. It being a success it didn't matter to me. Like it was more about like, it was an experience of like, oh, I'm carrying a narrative in this way, and this is a way that I can stretch my craft a bit more. Do you know what I'm saying? And so that's what it was. And then, so yeah, the process was really fun because it's just about like all these experiences that you kind of want, these really challenging experiences, so you can kind of see yourself and see your limitations, see how far you can go. And so I really loved it.
Were there any other Black British actors that you looked at that have become that have been able to cross over to American audiences, that was any kind of inspiration or role model, or somebody you looked and said, I'd like to do it kind of like that? Maybe not in how they acted, but just how they shaped their career.
I mean, a big inspiration for me was Ashley Walters. He's in Top Boy. He's the lead in Top Boy. And he's like paved the way for a whole generation of people from a certain background, in terms of people not from a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? And show you could do it and don't have to compromise your like self, because you don't have to sell out or be someone that you're not. That's someone that when I was younger, that would maybe go, oh, I can do it. You know, I can do. When I was 15, I was like, oh, this can be real. There's that. And then seeing Idris's career was, I didn't even realize he was British like that. You know what I'm saying? And then when I found out he's from Hackney, I was like, oh shit, he's from Ends. So it's like, that was really amazing. Like seeing him navigate and seeing him just be. I think John Boyega's trajectory really inspired me. Seeing him break through in Star Wars. I remember what Star Wars like the week it came out. And like, I just felt so proud. You know what I'm saying? Because I remember seeing him younger and just seeing him like just go into that direction. Melamine did a lot. Like when we was younger, and kind of went over the pond and showed the kind of connective tissue. There's a lot of Black actors that, but it's about them Black. It's like you identifying with their experience and where they come from, and knowing where they come from. You get a feel of them that speaks to you, and then it makes you go, oh man, I feel like I can do it too.